What is up, YouTube? We are playing Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. This game is definitely a spiritual successor to Castlevania, specifically the NES versions. There's a lot of elements in this game that are similar to Castlevania 3 that is on the NES. So you'll see going through this, there's going to be a lot of character switching, a lot of multiple paths. It's a really good game. It's definitely, like I said, through and through, this is all Castlevania. It's just kind of been rebranded, and again, it's a spiritual successor. I like it as a modern day game, going back to the sort of 2D 8-bit era. This captures all the magic of that. You know, the graphics are very Nintendo-esque. Without the flickering and slow down. The music is great. I love 8-bit music, and this has some of the best. And they did a really good job as far as capturing that. The difficulty of this game, it's not too hard. I played through it I played almost to the end a few times. I haven't actually beaten it yet. But in this playthrough, I'm going to do that for you and just kind of show you different things that I've discovered throughout the game. But overall, this game is, I like it a lot. It's definitely not as hard as the original Castlevania. The original Castlevania was just so punishing. I mean, it was just... I still, to this day, I don't think I've beaten it. I may have beaten it once, but I remember it was just very tough. You know, you see guys on YouTube now beating it pretty easily, because they memorize all the patterns. And, once you get it all down, it's not too hard, I guess you could say, but you still have to put a lot of effort into learning those patterns. You can't just walk into that game and expect to beat it, overnight or in one day. It's very hard. Anyway, back to this game. Overall, it's got its difficulty curve, but it's nowhere near as high as the original Castlevania or Dracula's Curse Castlevania 3 for that matter. It is, what else was I gonna say? Overall, like I said, it reminds me the most of Castlevania 3. So anyway, that's enough of me blabbing here. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright. So, I'm just going to start a new save file. Cleared up some space here. Default starting is normal, and you have veteran and casual modes. So the biggest difference between veteran and casual, veteran, as it says below, you get knocked back when you get hit. So definitely like the original Castlevania, which was a pain in the butt. That was one of the reasons the game was so hard. You get hit, you get knocked back, and typically what will happen is they put enemies in key spots, so when you get knocked back, you get knocked back into a hole and you die. So that is one of the things that makes the game tremendously hard. The casual is much easier. Like it says below, lives are unlimited, and taking damage, you don't get knocked back, which is huge. That basically takes away most of the challenge, because half the key to these type of games is you don't want to get hit, or you don't want to get hit in these key positions. So alright, so let's see what the story's about here. Story of this game, it is a little bit weird. I mean, honestly, I like the story of Castlevania better. This is about some guy who's been cursed, some guy named Zangetsu. That's an interesting name there. So he's been cursed and by the moon, I guess, and he goes around killing demons to try to get rid of the curse. And one night he just kind of, he senses this great looming presence of a great demon, and he swears to eradicate all demons. So he basically just goes on a rampage killing demons one night, because he sensed a really strong one. And that's pretty much the story to this game. You have some dude who's been possessed by the moon, he's crazy, and he's out to wreck shit. So on that night, either the demons or the moon itself would feel the wrath of his blade. All right. Very, very Castlevania-esque right here. It reminds me of the opening to the original. Okay, so the first guy you start out with, this guy, he has a sword, which is definitely a departure from the whip from the original Castlevania. The sword it's quick, doesn't have much reach, but you know, it gets the job done. I like that dynamic background there. That's pretty cool. The train going by. Now there are certain elements you wouldn't see that in a Nintendo game. Well, you might, but that would be pretty advanced for a Nintendo game. I grew up with all those 8-bit era games. You know, I have a love-hate relationship with them. I mean, some games are great and have aged well. I still, to this day, love Castlevania, but man, is it hard. I think eventually I'll go back and play it, but I just haven't mustered up enough will yet to torture myself in terms of trying to learn. Like I said, you got to learn those games. You got to get used to the patterns, and you know, it just takes patience. You know, the games back then were, I'd say a little, I guess you could call them a little more clunky. You know, there's no save points. You know, they were just relentlessly unforgiving. You just had to be on point with everything you did. You had little room for error. This game, it emulates that pretty well. I mean, there's parts of this game where you can't, you know, make a lot of big mistakes, but for the most part, it's a little forgiving. I'll say that. You know, there's save points and things like that, so that makes it a lot easier. With the hardest thing to NES games in the 8-bit era, there was no save points. You had a set amount of lives. You know, games like Castlevania luckily gave you unlimited continues, but there was plenty that did not. And you just had to nail it basically on your first, well, not your first try, but you only had a set amount of tries to really get it down packed. So that's the biggest difference. This game, you know, giving you the save points, and there's a lot of opportunity to get a lot of lives, and then later on you'll see when you gain characters, you actually can switch between them, and you switch health bars, which is very helpful because you can kind of manage your health that way. You know, in case you're about to die, you switch to the other guy, you know, and you have health in reserve, so it helps a lot. But yeah, you see what I mean as far as like the music and just the graphics. Now, one thing I want to point out too, I think you can either replay this, because there's another character you get later on that can slide through this. That's why there's another opening I passed earlier. But you can slide through these and get to different areas. So this game has a lot of branching paths. That's one of its kind of unique things, is its branching paths. And there is a character you can get that'll do that, so you can come back and play this multiple times. I think it's designed that way, so you can do that. There's also an area in the beginning, I think, where there's like some stairs right above where you start. That's another area you can reach with a different character. Alright. That's the same as the potion weapon from Castlevania, that little thing I'm throwing. I remember that one was one of the good ones from the OG Castlevania. You're gonna hear me mention Castlevania a lot in this video, obviously. But I love Castlevania, so and if you're watching this, you probably love Castlevania too, so. Or at least have played it. That's one game I wish they would remake. Well, they already tried to, or I wouldn't say try, they did remake Castlevania. What was it called? It's the 3D one. Why am I drawing a blank? Where you're Gabriel Belmont. I forget the exact title of it, but anyway, that Castlevania game, I actually like that one. That was a pretty good one. The first one. The second one was God, they really kind of missed on that one. You end up becoming, well, spoiler alert, anybody. You basically end up becoming Dracula. So the second game, you kind of run around as this. I don't know. It's a weird game. I wouldn't even call it like you really feel like Dracula. I mean, you get powers and stuff, but the setting for that game, they completely screwed it up. You essentially are in Castlevania, which becomes like a modern day city. The actual relic ancient castle becomes a modern day city, and I forget the rest of the story, but something along the lines of like you have to recover something, some artifact or something. So you actually go back and forth between the two, the old ancient time period and the modern time period. It's really off-putting because like in the modern world there's cars and, you know, lampposts and mailboxes and things like that, but it's built around, like, you could tell, like, you know, the castle's there, but it just looks really, really weird. The parts where you go to the, you know, back in time or whatever, you know, it feels like Castlevania. It feels like the original game, but it's just, I don't know, it's not just not very well done. I wasn't a big fan of part 2. But part 1 I thought was a good game. It takes a while to get going. It's a hard game at first, but once it gets going, it's really fun. Okay, so I just blabbed on and on about Castlevania. Let's get back to this game. Just beat the first boss here, obviously. And now I'm going to unlock one of the first characters. Press up to talk to her. Thank you for saving me. Was it the demon's power you used to seal that beast? Okay, I won't do the voice anymore. That sounds terrible. You're a Sharpbinder. That power can summon forth demons at will. I cannot allow that. This guy is very angry. The true the Sharpbinder, son to be righteous in my command of this power. I refuse to be used for evil. And show me proof of that determination in battle. Miriam has become an ally. Alright. So this is the second character you get. You just press R. Well, I'm on PlayStation 4, but you just press the R1 or L1 and go back and forth between the two. She's very similar to what you've seen in Castlevania. Once again, Castlevania. Take a shot every time I say that. Well, no, don't do that. I'm not promoting that because, you know, you'll probably be drunk very quickly. Anyway, yeah, you have a whip. She can jump higher, and she has a slide. So those are her abilities. And this is what I was saying, what can get us through those different passageways later in the game. If you go, I think if you go back or you play it a second time, you can start with the other characters or something. Anyway. So we'll start using her. I actually like her overall, but I feel like the game is a little easier when you're using her. Because she jumps so much higher than the other guy and has so much more of a reach with her attack. Another music track I like here. Love these 8-bit tracks. It was one of the unique things about games back then. You know, the the music nowadays, I feel it's more, it's good. It's definitely good. You got plenty of, you know, very, very gifted composers and things like that. But the music is more atmospheric now. You know, 8-bit era music, the music seemed, it just seemed more unique. It was unique to the stage you were in, and you remembered it a lot better because it was very specific to that stage. You know, it was just one track that kind of looped throughout, but you know, it was catchy. Like this one, you know, I mean, it's just very, very catchy. You know, it repeats over and over, obviously, but you know, if it's done well, you definitely remember it, and you'll find yourself like humming it sometimes if you liked it or whatever. Newer music nowadays, like I said, it's more atmospheric, and it just kind of you know, I don't know, it just doesn't have the same feel. Not to say it's not good. I mean, there's some great music in games now. I mean, it's like a movie, you know. Alright, we follow these little skeletons, I guess. That part I don't know too much about this game. I just kind of follow where they point. I mean, there's so many paths you can take in this game, and there's varying degrees of difficulty depending on where you're at. So you always got to keep in mind about that. Heck are these things? Like little clams with a lady inside. That's creepy. Alright. Those platform areas always make me nervous. Because no matter how many times I do them, there's just always room for error. You think you got it down pat, and then you just one little slip up and you fall in the hole and you're dead, and you lose a character. Bats. Hate bats. Oh, look at that. Second later, I would have been in that hole. Easily. What is this, right? Oh, I didn't even see that. Sort of saw the outline of steps, but... Oh, this must have been a... I don't think you can go that way. You come back from that way. But that's what I'm saying. This game has a ton of alternate paths. I mean, so many. You know, it'd actually be fun to maybe go back. Well, that is part of the draw to going back and playing this, because there's so many different ways you can go. It makes sense to want to see them all, you know. Always with the walls. Always. Never know what you can find. Pro tip 101 right there. Take my axe. Nothing in these walls, and what is this? Oh yeah, okay. So the ones that are more of like a darker blue gray color, those have the weapon inside of them. Obviously, you guys probably already figured that out, but it's good to know, because, you know, once again, Castlevania, they didn't change the colors on those type of games, so you know, you often would hit a oh, I got you. I knew that was going to happen. you would often hit a candle thinking you were getting something like another heart or something, and you end up, you know, replacing your weapon when you didn't want to. So you definitely don't want to do that. Oh, yeah, that's what this guy does. So yeah, it's good that they kind of give you that, sort of that little heads up that, hey, this one's going to have an item in it. And she's about to die, so I'm going to change to this dude. Now, again, I don't like him as much. You see his reach is not as good. Gosh, crap. Have to get close to him. You always want to get close to this. Ah, this guy's going to kill me. I forgot what I was even saying. I think I was talking about the candles or... Oh, this guy. No, I don't like his reach as much as the girl, obviously. You know, you have to be a little bit more careful when you play as him. And he can't jump as high, so it's, you know... It's a bit of a difficulty curve. But that's cool that they do that, you know. It gives you incentive to use different players. Now... These bosses all do like a final finishing move, I think with the exception of the first one, and I don't always know what it is, and I just got hit by that. But they always do some kind of a final finishing move, and it really messes you up. Lords of Shadow, that was the 3D Castlevania game, now I remember. Lords of Shadow. If you guys haven't played that, go play it. It's a good game. That I would be defeated by a demon. I have been thoroughly humiliated. I'm Alfred, an alchemist. Alchemist. You use demons to fill your worldly desires. Your resistance is not selling to me, but your skills... Wow, this guy is very, very... angry. Your existence is unsettling to me. Like, alright, well thanks a lot. I'm gonna help your ass. Yeah, Lords of Shadow was the 3D Castlevania. Good game. Very good game, but it's a bit of a learning curve to it. It plays kind of like the original PS2 God of Wars. But it's different, you know, it's more linear, but it's a great game. Now this new guy that I just picked up, he's got lower health, he's kind of weak, his attack is slow, no range, but the good thing about him is his special abilities. He's got some of the best special abilities, or the most useful. You'll see me use those later on. They cost a lot of hearts or potions or whatever they use in this game, but they're worth it when you use them. Outside of that, though, he's a little difficult to use. I don't really use him very much for fighting. He's almost like your mage, like your support, you know. I hate enemies like this. And I hate enemies that do that, just respawn as soon as you leave the screen. Like I said, this game isn't as bad as older NES games, but every now and then you'll get those ones that do stuff like that. I can't stand that. That was the worst. Just back in the day, just walking through, you clear a tough area, or you get through like those Medusa heads in the original Castlevania. Perfect example. You would, you know, get through a tough section with those, and if you walk backwards or for whatever reason, and you go back to that same area, then they just reappear out of nowhere, and they would constantly do it. It just was maddening. So you really, really have to be careful about leaving even a small sliver of the screen. If you hit that trick, excuse me. If you hit that trigger point again, they would immediately come back, and it was a nightmare. It was a complete nightmare. Okay, so like this alternate path I'm gonna take only because it looks like the skeleton's pointing down. But you'll see with this guy when I use his special ability, so see that? You know, I don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna use his special ability, and it puts up like a shield, and I can just walk up to him and clunk him on the head with my rod and be on my way. So yeah, that guy has really good special abilities. Go back to her. So they do give you a reason to be all the different characters, which is cool. I mean, I would say all of them. I don't know. The first guy, I just feel like he's not useful that much. I mean, he's okay. You know, oh shoot. His health is like kind of, you know, midway, so you know he won't die all that quickly. But I feel like his attack kind of sucks, and he's just not. He doesn't have anything special about him. Like this girl has a reach and she can jump high and she can slide. You know, the other guy, you know, this guy's magic is good. You get a fourth guy. We'll talk about him when we get to him. But, you know, they all have their uses. But I feel like the first guy is just kind of, he's just average. I jumped right into that. Ooh, almost jumped into that one too. Okay, go away. Yeah, for being the main character, Zangetsu or whatever, I feel like he could be a little bit better. But now supposedly, you can. I don't know. I haven't done this yet. I'm just talking about what I've read. I guess you can sacrifice the people that you pick up, and it actually improves his ability. So like, you know, if you decide not to go with them or add them to your party, he gets like, you know, a double jump, he gets like a stronger slash or something like that. I don't know, like my playthrough on this so far, it's they've automatically joined my party. I didn't see an option to kill him or whatever he does, absorb them or whatever. So I don't know too much about that other than what I've read, but you know, I might do another playthrough and show it when you can do that. I haven't done it yet. Whoa. I like that weapon. It's useful, although it's a waste for me to use it on guys like that when you can just easily... Not the dagger. I hate the dagger. Very boring. Alright. I always gotta have one of these areas. Ceiling with crushy spikes. Just laughing because, I mean, other than being a booby trap, what's the functional purpose of this ceiling? And why is it different heights? Like, are you giving me a chance for a reason? Why not just make it go all the way? Why not make it cover the part of the sand here? Just thinking about the person who designed this room. Just a random thought, but... Oh. I'm sorry. I knew that was gonna happen. Waited too long in the sand there. Just what I needed. See that you wouldn't have that in a older game. They wouldn't be as nice with the health. You'd be lucky to find health every other stage, or you know, they were just not forgiving with it at all. Yeah, that was perfectly timed. I needed that. You know, so it definitely makes this game a little bit easier. Now, I know there's other difficulty levels which I have not played. I'm kind of in the middle on going on higher difficulties on certain games. I mean, this one, it may make it more challenging, and I might try that, but sometimes I just, you know, you get frustrated. It depends how hard it makes it. But, you know, once I get through this, oh man, I messed up. You want to stay up there so you can hit her in the head. You know, depends on the game. This game it might become very difficult, I'm not sure. But, you know, you want to casually play it first. That's kind of my philosophy. You want to casually play it first on normal. Then once you get through it, learn the mechanics of the game, then you can go back and try it on a harder difficulty and hope you can beat it. Some games really ratchet it up. It just depends. Missed my opportunity there. Not doing very well with this boss. Keep missing my opportunities. There we go. Got some good hits there. Can't hit the hand. And I missed again. There we go. So see, this is what I was talking about again, these final attacks, you know. Alright, now we get our next guy. All of a sudden this turns into like a weird, spooky looking graveyard. I didn't notice all those skeletons there before. Or was that an illusion or something? Alright, this guy. Curse Shardbringer. You carry the power of demons. Gebel. No, that's Alucard. That is straight up Alucard. I mean, come on. He looks like a vampire. He shoots bats. Let's call a spade a spade. That's Alucard. So this guy, I don't think he can pick up any sub-weapons, but his special ability is to turn into a bat. So that's actually pretty useful in certain areas. You know, he can fit through the little cracks, the little small cracks in the ground, and then he can also obviously fly. So he's definitely, like I said, all the guys have their uses. His attack it's relatively unique. I mean, it shoots the bats kind of in an upward angle, sort of, but it doesn't have very much reach, but oh shoot. It doesn't have very much reach, but it shoots out 3 projectiles, and it can be useful. You just have to, you know, keep in mind it's not going to shoot very far, and just account for that. Again, I think of all the attacks, the starting guy Zangetsu has probably the worst, in my opinion. But there may be other people that disagree. So see that little part right there, you know, you wouldn't be able to reach it if you didn't have this guy. So, and then these guys, see that attack is useful in this regard because no one else in the group has something that can hit upward like that unless you're using a special weapon. So with him, you can just sort of cheat there and do that. Ooh, extra life. It's another thing I kind of miss from, well, not really miss, but just it's kind of an outdated thing now is to have lives for your character. You know, modern games operate off of save points and everything, so having a life is kind of pointless, but these old games, that's what you relied on, is how many extra lives you had. And even this one, to a certain degree, is a little more forgiving because if you die, you go back to a specific save point as opposed to starting the entire level over again, which was just a nightmare. Now, I do say that with there was some liberty with it. In Castlevania, they did allow you to you would restart at a certain like kind of a midpoint in the stage. It wasn't always like the best, most optimal place you could be, but they did have like midpoint starting points. That was if you had lives. Once you lost all your lives, that was it. You're going back to the beginning. You're going straight back to the beginning of the stage, which is why the unlimited continues came in handy, because without those, the game would be damn near impossible. So if you lost your lives, you didn't get back to the save or the checkpoint, but you would start at the beginning of the stage, and you did have to kind of be perfect until you got to you know, the checkpoint. And I'm speaking specifically. There's one stage that when I'm saying this, I have it in my mind. And if any of you have played the original Castlevania, you probably hear me on this. The Grim Reaper stage. The Grim Reaper stage was to me, like, aside from obviously the last stage, that was the most hardest, frustrating stage I would ever play through. That one, near the end, you had to go through this room that had nothing but these really strong knights that took a lot of hits to kill. They threw a ton of axes at you, and you're having to constantly dodge up or down whichever direction they're throwing their axes. All this while also there's a ton of Medusa heads, well shoot, I didn't mean to do that. A ton of Medusa heads that are flying like in this weird wavy pattern up and down, and you're trying to fight these knights, and it's maddening. And on top of that, you can only take 4 hits and you're dead. As that game progressed, the amount of damage you took each stage increased. So by that stage, I think it was the second to the last stage, you were taking 1 hit and it would take like a quarter of your life bar. And it was just, I mean, it was so hard. To this day, I still barely can pass that. And the Grim Reaper was, to me at least, one of the hardest, if not the hardest boss in that game. Now Dracula, yeah, he would kick your butt too, but to me it felt like Dracula had more of a pattern. Now I have seen videos on YouTube where people, like I said, they make it look easy, and they made the Grim Reaper boss look easy. I mean, I'm jealous, but for me as a kid trying to play through that, it was, man, it was terrible. Still have nightmares of it today. And that part is, like I said, it's hell. So anyway, going back to this game, I went off on a huge tangent there about extra lives and checkpoints and stuff. That was just what I remember from all that. All that from me getting an extra life in this game. That was random, but just recalling all those old memories. Do I want to take that? No, I'll leave that there. Okay. I think I'm getting close to the end of the stage here, from what I remember. Oh, you're tempting me to jump down there. Do I really want to jump down there? No, let's just leave it there. Let's just play it safe for now. Alright, this boss is kind of cool. I like the way it looks. Creepy dragon thing. Yeah, that's let me just go up to you with my whip and spank you or whatever she does. That takes a lot of guts. Go to that thing with a whip. Armed with only a whip. No, thank you. You can imagine, I mean, this looks pretty easy right now, but again, I've kind of pre-played this. When you first play this, you don't really know much of what to do. You know, I like these bosses in this game. I mean, they seem pretty easy. I can imagine on harder difficulty, you know, the difficulty is increased. I don't know how they do it, if it's just, you know, by upping the damage they do, or if they actually do any different attacks. But you can see, like, once you figure out the pattern, it's pretty straightforward. Oh, I guess you don't have to duck that. You're ducking for no reason. You like that? That's some whip. I was able to whip that thing to death. Amazing. That's right. That weapon, you see me sitting there debating if I should take it. It's very strong, but it has an extremely slow wind-up time. That's why I'm not too keen on taking that. That's one of those weapons, high risk, high reward, and you gotta really kind of know what you want to do with it. You know, the one I'm using now, it's pretty quick. You know, if I'm in a pinch and I need to get some offense going real quick, I can just, you know, do it. But that one I'm not so sure about. This one too, I like this one. Sort of like a boomerang. There's that extra life again. I'll keep the boomerang. Okay, Go to bad guy. Oh, I remember those things. Gotta time it. If you don't time it, those things can be a pain in the butt. No, I'm not going for it. Yeah, how many hearts? It'd be more of a waste of hearts to try to go for that one up than to, and I don't really need it. That's why I'm not going for it. See, they put stuff there like that to tempt you, but there's no point in doing it if you don't need it. I already got 10 lives. And you waste half your hearts just trying to get there. Right, let's go back to, see what old sword guy's been doing. Now his attack does, I mean, again, I was bashing it earlier. His attack is a little bit, comes out a little quicker than everyone. Missed that opportunity. Comes out a little quicker than everybody else's, and it does seem to do pretty solid damage. It's just the reach on it is not good. But it is a pretty solid hit. Okay, where are we going here? This thing. Okay, so I played this earlier, but this thing kicked my butt for a while, and I'll show you why. Any of you guys playing this the first time? Oh, and I'm about to mess it up. So when it does that, you have to hit it, otherwise it will kill you immediately. And there is no ifs, ands, buts about it. You're gonna die. So make sure you hit it when it comes to that point. Otherwise, it's gonna kill you. Took me a minute to figure that out. Alright, let's turn into Bat Guy. Keep saying Bat Guy, whatever his name is, Gebel or something, but like I said, Alucard. It's pretty obvious that's what they were going for. Oh, shit. Wait for the 3 shots. Watch out for the jumping thing. So this one ups your damage. Well, why not? I'll get it. Like I said, one of the cool things about this game, and you don't see me doing it very much, but with that guy and with the old guy, the wizard, you can activate their power and then switch to someone else, so it actually makes it worthwhile to have that stuff. Oh, jump! What are you doing? Fooled around with the powers there, you saw. Alright, which way are we gonna go? So many different ways to go in this game. I mean, it's cool, but it almost makes it a little confusing at times, because like which way is the most optimal way? Oops. Didn't realize I was getting hit there. I should have known. These old school type games, you can't touch stuff. Yeah, touching enemies, which I always thought was hilarious. Like, how is touching an enemy gonna kill you? I mean, it's like in real life, you bump into somebody, I mean, it can hurt, but it's not gonna necessarily, you know, do a lot of physical damage to you. I mean, it's not like the enemies are running full speed at you or something, but I always thought that hilarious, and these old games, just touching something would kill you. I hate parts like this with the weather. Platforming and stuff slowing you down, and pits just don't make a good combination. And see how forgiving this is. Now, if this was an older game, those archers would have been right back there trying to hit me just as many times, if not more. So, and look at that nice juicy heart. So forgiving. Yeah, I'm not complaining, but just oops, I don't think I was supposed to go. I almost died right there. Yeah, it's just funny because that's just total forgiveness. I forget what this one does. I think it's like a, oh no, oh, didn't want to do that, and I didn't follow my own advice. The blue candles always contain something. Now, I don't like this power that I just picked up. He creates like a copy of himself, which I guess can be useful. The copy can't be hurt, but it's weird how you have to use it. I don't like it. The other one is, from what I remember, it's like a freeze or something. Like a freeze beam, which is very useful, especially on this guy. But I just screwed that up. Fighting Super My Little Pony here, or whatever it is. And what is his next attack? Yeah, see, he does look kind of like a little pony, doesn't he? Doesn't he? Am I going crazy? My Little Pony from Hell? Caught in that, it will throw you back, obviously, but see, I'm making mistakes so you don't have to. Oh, man, just keep pushing, keeps pushing you back. Excuse me. Now he's gonna do something crazy. I can't remember what this guy does, but I know it's ridiculous. Yeah, look at that. What? Ah. It should be a bonus or something you get for dodging that. Maybe there is. If there is, let me know, because every boss does that. It's like a super attack that just, like, what the hell? Why didn't you use that from the get-go? But I don't know. Please don't, but all right, next stage. So looks like I've made it to a castle. Again, I don't know. The story of this game is very, very kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Vague. You know, I guess we're supposed to be killing demons, but then all of a sudden we ended up at a castle. You know, I guess is it to make it more as close as Castlevania as possible without actually being Castlevania. Again, and I keep bringing up Castlevania in this video, but it's the truth. I mean, it's, you know, this is Castlevania through and through. It's a spiritual successor. So I just find it funny that you know, we're supposed to be killing demons and we're just on some random mission to do that, and then out of nowhere we are at a castle with a guy who looks like a bat, similar to that other guy from Castlevania whose name spelled backwards as Dracula. So I think the developers of this game really wanted to make another Castlevania, which again, I'm not complaining. You know, why would you not want to? Konami. It's just, whoa, damn, this guy. What am I gonna do here? Yeah, it's just they took so many elements from it. It's funny. You're creative with this guy. Oh, that's what that does. I thought it was. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever used the lightning. I know he has a freeze one. I thought that was the freeze one, but that turned out to be something a little bit more devastating than that. But yeah, why would you not want to make another Castlevania? You know, I really wish whatever's going on with Konami, I wish they would get back on their game and actually start making good games. You know, let's not get into Silent Hill. I believe they made Metal Gear and they had that whole falling out with Kojima. You know, they used to be just one of the best game makers, like, you know, in the industry. And now, you know, good franchises like, you know, Castlevania, they made Contra as well, I think. You know, we just don't see them anymore because they've switched their focus. And I think what Konami's deal was, they wanted to go and make mobile games only or something like that, which, I mean, you know, my take on that is, yeah, you know, I guess if you're talking about from a money standpoint, you know, mobile games make a lot of money. You know, you can make microtransaction games or players and get a ton of money that way. It's the way of the future, but for true gamers and true, like, people who really like games, it's a shame because you don't get stuff like this anymore, you know. I'd play this any day over one of those stupid phone games, you know. I mean, it just, to me, I mean, now, you know, kids, you know, they don't know any better. You know, my daughter, you know, she plays games on her, you know, her iPad and stuff like that, and they try to microtransaction you for everything in those, every little thing you want or whatever. You know, they make it so it's a microtransaction. I get it, you know, you make a lot of money doing that, but you know, and Call of Duty is very guilty of this nowadays too. Oh man, I just missed. Did I get that? You know, you're robbing the gamer of the experience by doing that. You know, Call of Duty is it's evolved into a very weird animal. you still get the base game. Obviously, you know, and the multiplayer is still there for what it is now. You know, we won't get into the whole conversation about what that's turned into, but for the most part, you know, the game is still there, but now, you know, their big money maker is selling you season passes and, you know, cosmetics for your gun, your soldier, all that stuff. How I feel about that? Well, it depends on what you add to the game. You know, me personally, you know, if you can add more levels, expand the game in a meaningful way, that to me is worth it. But if it's just, okay, this season I'm gonna have these cosmetics and half of them are, you know, crap you don't want, you know, maybe one or two things in there. Not like if you're releasing new guns or something like that, okay, I can maybe get behind that. It's something added to the game that didn't come with it. You know, I get the devs, you know, work to create them, and even though it's not as hard as, you know, creating the game itself, you know, you're reskinning a lot of things and just tweaking balances, but you know, it takes time and it's work. I get it. I'm not gonna hate on that. But what I don't like is, you know, with a lot of these mobile games especially, you know, it's like you play for so long and then, you know, you have to wait, you know, X amount of time until you can get back into it, or you could pay right now and, you know, keep playing. It's like, wait, what did I pay for? Or, you know, why waste my time, you know? And these free-to-play games, I think that's just such a laughable joke. You know, it's free to play. It should say free to play for, you know, 15 minutes at a time, or free to play with, you know, without any free to play, but impossible to gain enough money to buy anything without paying real money. You know, it just put a big disclaimer in there, because that's ultimately what it is. Oh man, I'm gonna get hit by these things. Oh, I got tons of bats. Oh yeah, that guy's gonna mess me up. I hate timing on these things. Ugh. Bats, or rats with wings. But yeah, you know, whoa. Okay, I'm gonna have to switch from her. I'm getting tore up. But yeah, you know, what I was saying though is that, you know, games now, you know, I want to be, me as a gamer, I want to be able to buy the whole game when I pay that initial price. Now, if you're gonna give me something that enhances the game in a, who's this dude? That enhances the game in a meaningful way, you know, I can kind of get behind that. You know, do I want a bunch of skins and everything? No, not really. I mean, those aren't really going to do anything to enhance my enjoyment of the game. If you're going to give me new levels, new maps, you know, specifically new weapons, not just a reskin of a weapon I already have or something like that, then, you know, that kind of makes it, adds value. Oh shoot, what am I doing here? I'm getting flashbacks of that Grim Reaper level. This is exactly see what I mean? That's exactly how it was, but worse. Oh man, you're fighting guys like this, almost the exact same type of guy. Big knight that would throw a gigantic axe, and you had to dodge it up or down, all while these things flying in a zigzag pattern were coming at you. I'm telling you, flashbacks, man. Whoa. Anyway, I forgot where I even was. I had to concentrate right there. Oh boy. But yeah, anyway, you know, so back to the original thought. You know, hopefully Castlevania gets back into making, but they won't. I mean, that's why you got companies like this, but you know, that make these try to remake these type of games, which I'm not mad at, you know. So is it Castlevania? No. Does it do a good job of emulating it? Yes, it does. Very good job. So hats off to these guys for making this. Oh man, I think I'm gonna die. Oh yes, I'm gonna die. And oh yes, there will be blood. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm not doing so well here. I need to stop blabbing and maybe concentrate a little bit more. Oops. Oh cool, that does freeze her. Nice. Ah, but I can't get to her. So you gotta stay under those umbrellas when she does that. I forgot about that. And my guys are in pretty bad shape right now, so I'm almost thinking I'm just throwing in the towel. And just see, that's another kind of little trick here. You can you know, just let all your guys die, and then you end up starting over at the checkpoint. You know, whereas you wouldn't do that in the older games. There's no way you would do that. Because, for one reason, you're only one guy. The other reason, you don't waste lives. You just never wanted to do that. You waste a life and you're asking for trouble. Alright, let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna go switch to the old guy, because he has the most useful special attack. And he's only got one health bar, or 2 hits, which are definitely not enough. That was stupid. Alright, yeah, I think it's sacrifice time. So you sacrifice because you get all your guys back when you start over, and you start over at a checkpoint, a nice little checkpoint. See, I'm not that far back. Yeah, you kind of go from there, because it can be really difficult unless you know, have the right guy or know what you're doing. It can be really difficult facing these bosses with the wrong players. Maybe wasted that. And these guys are going to appear out of nowhere. I'm supposed to avoid that. Can I jump over them? Yeah, there we go. So you want to memorize stuff like that. Maybe I could have survived on the other one if I'd have got that heart and then got the other big heart that's up here. That would have come in handy. Oh no, what did I just do? I wanted the... Well, the fire is actually not bad. The fire, you can put a shield up, which is helpful. Oh, what am I... Jesus Christ, what am I doing? Come on. This guy's not scared of me. He's like, you don't even know what you're doing. Alright. Fight this woman again. Oh yeah, and there, I forgot to mention too, there is a sequel to this game, which is like Symphony of the Night, which you guys should all know, one of the best Castlevania games ever. It's It's called Bloodstained. This is Curse of the Moon. It's called Ritual of the Night, I think. Very good game. I actually will do another video on that some other time. Yeah, it's you know, again, straight up copy of Symphony of the Night, but it's a very well done copy. You know, like the game a lot. Did a good job. And here comes her final attack. Oh boy, I better switch before I get final attack to death. How do I avoid it? What do I do? What do I do? What am I supposed to do? See? Come on. Is there a way to avoid that? Please comment if there is, because that's... What was I supposed to do? I like that background. That's really cool. Still want an explanation as to why I'm fighting vampires, but in a castle. But, oh well. Who cares? This is a good game. Alright, so I'm gonna take a break here and make a... we'll make a part 2 video of this, yeah, thanks for joining. You know, really excited to make these videos. Love playing old retro games like this. You know, we'll just play a variety of games on this channel. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Alright, welcome back. We are going to continue playing Curse of the Moon from stage 7. So I had recorded this footage earlier, and for some reason something happened where it just didn't get my playthrough of the game. So we're gonna go back and do it again. So I was on stage 7, and we're just getting through here. This guy. Get across and kill those guys. There we go. Oh. Concentrate. Totally messed up right there. That was all bad. Let's try this again. It's funny too, because I know what I'm doing right now in terms of what to expect on this game. Since I already beat it, but it's not looking very good right now. It's a pretty sloppy play, so I'm just gonna wipe out all my guys and start fresh here. There we go. Alright, let's continue on here. I had to pause for a brief break there, but let's get our concentration back. Finish this game. So yeah, as I was saying, I finished it earlier. Something happened with my playthrough, but it turns out this game has a second, kind of a second quest to it. So once you finish it, you get to go, you start with the companion characters, and then you play through the campaign as them, so you can access certain areas you couldn't from the get-go. Alright, get rid of that guy. Now watch these axes. You can throw those insanely far. Ooh. Look how generous it is with those hearts, baby. I tell you. Yeah, not gonna worry about killing him. Waste of time and energy. I only have the axe for her.
And now I get the dagger. I hate the dagger. Regular, plain, boring ass dagger. Fly straight, that's it. And I go back to the axe, which I didn't want. Come on. Alright, what's the best way to kill him? Nope, that can't reach. I don't have anything that can reach. So I'll do a little trickery here. I will activate the shield. Turn into him. There we go. Wasted most of my hearts there, but oops. What's that gonna drop? Oh yeah, the spell. Nice. That's a good one. That's a lightning spell. I didn't realize it for quite a while until I found that with that character, but that lightning spell is pretty powerful. Does a lot of damage to the bosses. Yeah, so overall, you know, like I said, I finished this game, and this is technically my replay of that footage, but I didn't find this game too difficult, at least on the first go-around. I mean, I'm expecting it, since there is a second quest, which I learned, which is pretty cool. I'm expecting that to be a little bit more difficult, but the first time around, I mean, you'll definitely see me die and stuff, but you know, I didn't find it overly difficult, or like I didn't get stuck anywhere. Unlike Castlevania, which, you know, as I stated from the beginning, I don't even remember beating the first one. I may have at some point when I was younger, but I definitely don't remember doing it. Second one was always, or the first one was always really tough for me. I actually got really good at the second one, or not the second one, the third one. I was able to beat the third one fairly, not easily, but regularly. I was able to beat the third one. But that first one, man, I just could not. Something about it with Dracula, I just could not do it. And the Grim Reaper boss was always super hard for me. That whole Grim Reaper level, as I mentioned, ugh. Bad memories of that level. I'm gonna take bad hits here. Ah, I knew it. Should have turned into the bat. Do like that freeze thing. Yeah, turning into that bat solves a lot of problems. One of these paintings. I hate these things. I wonder, can he freeze it? If I have enough weapon power. Let me see if I can freeze this thing. Oh, and I can, yes. Do I get there in time to hit it? No, I don't. Ha! Nice. Screw you, painting. I need a weapon. Let's see what this one, I don't like this one too much. I mean, all it does is power up his sword. The cool thing about it is it carries over to the other characters as well, but it's kind of a mediocre power if you ask me. But I'll take it. Whatever. Might be handy on some of the bosses, I'm sure. Or maybe this guy. Actually, if this is, yeah, the tarot card, that's even better. I could go down there and hit him with extra damage, but why? Just throw those at him. The potions, similar to the potions from Castlevania. I hate that I don't have the girl. I can only jump so high. Don't. Oh. Uh-oh. Turn to the bat. Turn. Oh, man. I was trying to get to the bat guy. Oh. I was about to give up there. Yeah, you saw that. I was about to give up right there. It's funny when you record your game footage and you just, you know, the amazing moments you can get that, you know, normally, you know, they just get lost in your gameplay. But when you actually record it and you're like, oh man, how did I ever get that lucky to make that jump, or some special kill, or, you know, weird glitches, things like that. I'm gonna stick with this guy. Uh-oh, I didn't see him. Alright, I'm almost there, I think. Nah, we're not gonna go with that. But we will go up here. Ah, I should have gave that to him. I hate that whip thing. That's one of my least favorite power-ups. Whoa. Dodge the hammer. See, this is, if this was Castlevania hard, there'd be a ton of Medusa heads in here right now. And these would be bottomless pits that I have to jump over. All these parts are pretty straightforward. Nothing too perilous. But it's okay. I mean, this game is still definitely fun. Alright, so here's this boss. The trick with this guy, just stand on the platforms. Actually, can actually get some good hits in if I got over there quicker. And I should wait until those things are gone to actually move. But yeah, see what I mean? You can get good hits in if you get close. Oh man, messed up. Messing me up right now. Yeah, that boss is pretty easy though. He leaves himself pretty vulnerable. Whoa, I actually dodged the final attack. How about that? And cool slow motion mode there. You saw it. Normally those final attacks get me every time. Alright, so here's the final stage. I don't like this stage, but it's once you know what to do, it's not too bad. But you'll see why I don't like it very shortly. That crap. I think it's blood, but it's all over this level. And it just, it knocks you off stuff, destroys everything. You gotta get out of the way. Keep moving. It's a pain in the butt. See? My first time through this, I got hit by that so many times and died so many times from it. You don't know when it's coming. You just have to kind of know by experience. I'm gonna get past that guy without getting hit. Maybe attack him immediately. I kind of hesitate there before I attack him. There you go. This one, you gotta move, go, jump, get up there. I do like that it kills the enemies though. That's nice and helpful. That is blood. That's some weird looking blood. I get out of the way of that thing. Nice. Always whip the walls. See that? Use this guy with the potion. I call it the potion, but I think in this game it's supposed to be a tarot card. And in Castlevania it wasn't a potion, it was a holy water, but whatever. I always called it a potion since I was a little kid, so it's a potion. I think when I was real little and first playing Castlevania, I thought it was a grenade. You know. Little did I know grenades didn't exist back then, but hey, you know, I was a little kid. What do you expect? Oh, see, I was hesitating, thinking, and this happens. No time to think. Oh, man. Yeah, this level. Totally forgot about that one. Caught me by surprise. And that was just stupid. Finally. I hate those big things. Die, demon. Isn't that his whole motto? Killing demons? Yeah, this guy's normally weak, but I do like his magic powers. His attacks suck, but his magic is really good. Ah. Yeah. No time to think, just run. Just run. Get up there. More. At least I got something that can sort of hit him now. But I just wasted getting that heart. Using it on the other guy, I didn't need it. So now this guy's in trouble. Oh. Get a little baby heart there. That's better than nothing. Oh, man. Not gonna make it here. Definitely not with this guy. Let's see what happens, but hopefully this is the fire. Yeah, okay, if this is the fire, I can get through here pretty quick. I think I just grabbed that stupid body double, which I hate. Yeah, so right here, this is the final area. I'm not even going to chance it with just this one guy. I'm just going to go ahead and... Oh, cool. How about that? Take your leap of faith like Indiana Jones. Alright, well now that I know that's there... Huh, how are you even supposed to know that? And I wonder, does it go all the way across? I'm not even gonna chance it. And I don't think I need any of this stuff either. This is all... hearts. Alright, I don't know where this ends, so... play it safe. I know you can walk off of there, I just don't know where exactly. Probably should have looked at the pillars in the background. And this part right here, this is nice of them. So if you die, this is a 1-up loop. You basically just keep coming back collecting that 1-up, so you pretty much never not beat this part. You know, because the checkpoint's back there too, so eventually, once you get the boss down, you know, you're never in danger of going all the way back to the beginning. Ah. Alright, so that's the first phase of the boss. Then we go up here for the second phase, which is a little bit trickier, but not too bad. My first time around, I got beat up pretty bad, died a couple times. Now I think I got it down pretty good. Only trick to this one is it's kind of hard to hit the boss because of the way you have to hit that little moon thing above the head, so it's a little bit tricky to get up there. Ah, that was bad button press on my part right there. I didn't want that. I can't hit him with that. Forgot about that. I gotta get out of the way. Oof. That's a little close. And I'm out of hearts. Or potions. Hearts are health this time around. Not your weapon ammo. So used to it though. Dang, I'm just barely getting to the end of that. Alright, there's some weapon ammo. So basically, the pattern for this boss is pretty easy, obviously, once you figure out what to do there. It took me a couple tries to kind of nail it, but that's no problem. You know, like I said, the biggest difference between this and Castlevania, you could still know the pattern and still have trouble with it. And I don't know if that's because, you know, older games tended to be a little bit more clunkier. You know, this game, it controls the same, but it feels very, very smooth and refined. So that could be it. But yeah, once you find the pattern, you know, that boss is no problem. Most of the bosses in this game are no problem when you know what to do. Maybe I'll go back through and after I've played Castlevania a few times through, or just got re-familiar with it, maybe I'll go back through and do a play of that and see if you know, that theory holds up. I feel like it's harder, but you know, this was pretty easy. So here's the second quest is explained. Zangetsu had to sacrifice himself. So now the companions need to go back and save him. So there'll be a part 2 to this, showing the second quest. But yeah, that's Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. You know, throwback to all the old Castlevanias in an 8-bit style, and very well done game. So if you haven't played it, pick it up. It's fairly cheap when it came out, and I'm sure it's even cheaper now. So yeah, you know, you want to support games like this because this is what the foundation of gaming came from, is games like this. You know, when the NES kind of revitalized the gaming industry, it was games like, you know, Castlevania, Zelda, Mario, Contra. All those games, the NES just, you know, blew everybody's mind during that era, because those games were nothing like that had ever been seen. Maybe in the arcades. I mean, arcades have, you know, always been a step ahead of, you know, Nintendo in terms of graphics and things like that, but Nintendo really brought to the home market like all these games on this platform, and it's a shame Konami, you know, is pretty much just kind of given up on making these again. So instead of seeing a real kind of licensed Castlevania with all our favorite characters and everything, we get games like this, but this game is very well done. I think the only department this game could have been better in is the story. It's not like Castlevania had a very deep story, but, you know, it had a great source material because, you know, it's about Dracula and a vampire hunter. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that. So, you know, it's hard for them to be able to use something like that. Now they have to kind of go into this mystic thing that they've created where the demons or shard bringers or something like that, they have these magical shards or whatever. That's kind of the premise of this game. But the story itself is, it lacks a little bit, but you can see in the spirit of this game that it really brings out the you know, the vibe of Castlevania. So Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, play it if you haven't. All right, I'm out of here.